the remaining amount of work that there was. We still had editorial responsibilities for everything, and frontline responsibility for all of the major addresses. But we did have a larger team. It was smaller than the team that we replaced, but still a good sized team. 6, 7 writers at the most for president and vice president. A couple of researchers, a couple of fact checkers. So the speech writing of an event gets put on the president's schedule. Okay, it's a major policy address. He's going to be speaking to the American Legion, or he's going to be speaking to the Chicago Economic Club, or he's going to be speaking to the Los Angeles World Affairs Council, or the Cedar Rapids, Iowa Chamber of Commerce, or a Republican Party dinner in Kentucky, just an endless, or a town hall in Manhattan, Kansas, just an endless array of things that the president is going to do. And so you get the assignment, a writer is put on it. If the core team was working on it, we wrote together with literally at the same computer, at the same screen, with one keyboard, in the same room, starting with nothing, and would work on it on that basis. The other writers on the team didn't work that way. They would do their draft and then send it in to Mike Gerson, and then we would sit down and go through it and make sure it had unity of voice with the president's prior speeches and the way he liked things. The policy people whose main area of responsibility was involved in the speech, they would give us the information that we needed. I mean, they would say, okay, the president's giving a major speech on Social Security policy. We didn't have to think of what the Social Security policy was. Good thing, because we were not experts in anything, although my colleagues were pretty sharp. But we would get the general policy, and it was then our job to put it in the president's voice and to put it in a reasonably economical and persuasive speech that wasn't too long, wasn't too detailed, but also wasn't too simple. All of the basic rules you want to follow as speechwriters. And then we would have researchers kind of look into background. Where's the president speaking? Is there something about the place that he is speaking that will be of interest? Now, there will be some basics that he's going to want to know who he should thank and acknowledge. Say something about the place that the city he's in, what have you. And then, I believe we were the first White House speechwriting office that had this. We had a fact-checking division within speechwriting, and they were so good that other people in the White House started using them. And Mike Gerson had to say, look, this is not the White House fact-checking office. This is the White House speechwriting department's fact-checking division. But they were very good, and they kept us out of a lot of trouble because, when you're churning through these speeches, you're doing your very best to be faithful to not just the information that you have, but the historical references you might be making from your memory. But the fact checkers would always run these things down. And then when the draft was ready, sometimes during the fact checking process, it would be circulated to the staff and then the department heads, the senior White House staff, and there would be a cover page attached to a copy of the draft, cover page memo from a person known as the staff secretary. She was a very important person in the government of the United States, because she is the person who controls the flow of paper to the president and from the president. You want to give something to the president, you don't just wait till you see him in the hallway and slip it to him. You have to give it to the staff secretary, and it's mainly, I think, for efficiency, for record-keeping purposes, for sure, and because it's been done that way for many, many years. My understanding is that going back to Eisenhower, they've had this process in the White House, and it's literally called staffing, where by which the whole purpose is that when something gets to the president, it has been reviewed by the people who need to review it, so that the president can have confidence in it. We wouldn't send a draft speech to the president that hadn't been fact-checked. We just wouldn't do it, and I don't think the staff secretary would let us, because the staff secretary would ask